What's up, guys? This year out here for the Team Fantasy Football League Commissioner Cody. We're here with your week, what do we have, 15 recap, and we're going to do your week 16 preview. So in case you're not following along, this is our second round of playoffs, our semifinals, recap, and then a preview of our finals, our championship matchup here. So, starting with our number 1 seed, Phil versus number 4 seed, Will. Phil versus Will. Two juggernauts throughout the season. Just Will had some unfortunate losses and some injuries late in the season. Phil just dominated pretty much the 9-game winning streak, and 10, I think 11 now. I think he's on. So ultimately, Phil ends up coming out victorious. 226. Give me a quick second here. 226.55 to 208.27. Kind of looking at, breaking it down. Before we go further, two high-scoring games. The semifinals were. Will and Phil both hit over 200, which was impressive. Looking over at Will's team, he was led by Kyler Murray with 46.44 points. Followed up by Lamar Jackson finally showing up a little bit too late, unfortunately, but 38.82 points for Will. Some solid outings by DeAndre Swift, 25.95, DJ Moore, 20.45, and Alvin Kamara rounding it out with 21.15. And everybody else, as far minus his kicker and defense, scored 11 points or more. So, just a solid outing for Will. Just unfortunate that he did not overachieve. CeeDee Lamb on his bench for 20 points could have been the difference. Probably not. Just looking at it, it wouldn't have been the difference. And Hunter Henry. So you left a solid 37 points on your bench, Will. All you had to do was take out two guys that you weren't going to take out anyway. Unless it was Gus Edwards. But either way, it just wasn't going to work out for you. You did play the juggernaut named Phil, and, it was a rough week for you. You overprojected yourself. Your projection is 189.5. You put up 208.27, which is impressive. Just unfortunate that it came against Phil. But it didn't matter, unfortunately, for you. And I say that with all respect in the world because Phil's team, his bench, put up more points than your team almost did. And that is a fact. Almost as much as your team did. Looking over at Phil's team, nobody scored less than 12.3 points, and that was Allen Robinson. Mike Davis put up 11.6, but led the way with a solid Patrick Mahomes, 32.21, and David Montgomery, 38.2. Tony Pollard out of nowhere with 35.7. Shout out to Phil for throwing him in there. Solid outing from Aaron Rodgers, 20.77. Allen Robinson, as I said, 12.3. Kelsey with a solid 22.8. Brandon Ayuk with 22.3. The Seahawks defense and this, 17.67, and the kicker, Greg the Leg, with 13. Now, I mentioned Phil's bench put up some points. Let's go through here. So Phil puts up 226.55 points. Will's team puts up 208.27 points, as I said. And Phil's bench put up 190.53. That's how good Phil's team is. His team combined for over 400 points in fantasy football this week. His bench includes David Johnson, 26.3. Keenan Allen only with 2.85. A.J. Green with only 6. Jamison Crowder with 12.6. Patriots defense with 10.66. Corey Davis, 24. Logan Thomas, 24.1. Robert Tonyan, 10.8. Jalen Hurts with 41.77. Salvon Ahmed, 28.45. His bench is unstoppable. His starting lineup is unstoppable. And honestly, I wouldn't want to play him next week either. Or this week, or the week before. Fortunately, even though I was bounced off in the first round, fortunately, your commissioner, Cody, gave Phil his first loss this season. Started out 0-1. Shout out to me. One of 2 teams to beat Phil. I believe the other one was Greg. Shout out to them. I feel honored, Phil, to see you move on and be one of your 2 losses this season. Good luck moving forward. Shout out to Phil. Again, shout out to Will for putting up such a strong team this year, overcoming a bunch of odds between injuries and just other teams blowing up on him. I just want to give Will a shout out and for momentarily having the highest points ever in a game. So shout out to you, Will. Moving on to your other matchup here. It was, I can't remember what the seeds were. Hobert was 6 and Liam was 2, I believe. 2 versus 6. Hobert comes in with the upset, 195.7 to 175.7. Midway through Sunday, this matchup was a marquee matchup, just like the other one, where both were projected a solid anywhere between 200 to 210 collectively at the same time, which is why it was very interesting. Starting off with Liam, see what we're wrong over here. A little bit inconsistency. That seemed to be what happened there. Led the way by Ryan Tannehill with 49.87, Derrick Henry with 32.2, J.D. McKissick with 28.95, Matthew Stafford with a solid 22.38. But everything after that, real far downhill. DK Metcalf 9.3, Cooper Kupp 8.9, Juju at 2.5, Kareem Hunt with 7.55. His defense from the Chiefs 8.05. His kicker put up 6. I say that because he started Giovanni Bernard the last 3 weeks or last couple weeks since Joe Mixon went down, and he puts up 28.95 against the stingy Steelers defense. You don't see that stuff coming. That ultimately could have been the difference between the game. It probably wouldn't have, just with the math. 20.64, you lost by 20 points exactly. Take out Juju with 2 points. Yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered ultimately. Liam just, unless he made a couple other changes, which obviously a lot of them. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, it would have mattered. So Liam really could have moved on to the championship and played Phil if he plays Giovanni Bernard over Juju. Not that necessarily that's something he would have done, but just it's fun to think about. On his bench, Gardner Minshew put up 20.64, no better than his other quarterbacks. So obviously that was the right choice there. Evan Ingram with 8.6, Alan Lazard 10.6, T.J. Hawkinson 2.05. LaVishka Chenault 9.9, and everybody else just put up less than 5. Looking over at our our matchup winning team, Hobert. Shout out to Hobert, number 6 seed, making his first championship in his first season here in the league. Welcome to the league, Hobert. Welcome to the championship. Hopefully you'll be able to join the Ring of Honor, which I am proud to say that I'm a part of. Even though I had a very disappointing outing this year, I am proud to say that I am a former champion in this league. Yes. But shout out to Hobert. Welcome to the promised land. Solid outing for you. The least amount of points was Curtis Samuel with 8.3. Justin Herbert leading the way with 36.56. Aaron Jones with 30.8. Stephon Diggs with 26.7. Solid for you all season. Chris Godwin 12.6. Mark Andrews 17.6. J.K. Dobbins 17.6. Jared Goff with 20.71. And solid outing from Rams defense and his kicker with just over 12 points each. Darius Slayton on his bench with 11.4, Jonnu Smith with 10.3 or 10.2. We left Nick Mullins with 17.01, but it's not like you were going to start him over your 2 quarterbacks, and he underperformed anyway, so it doesn't matter compared to the other 2. So even with George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo on your bench, you're still putting up 195 points. Hobert, you accepted my challenge and you won the matchup. That's what I like to see, Hobert. I told you what I was aiming for, and here you are, hitting it right on the nose, moving on to your first championship here in my league. Happy for you. I wish it was me versus you. Not that it would have been. I would have got my ass whooped by Phil, so, better now than never. Or I don't even know if that made any sense. Whatever, I don't really care. But yeah, I just want to say shout out to you, Hobert, for making your first playoff. First playoff and first championship. As an underdog number 6 seed. Shout out to you and Herbert, Hobert's Herbers. But yeah, shout out to you for that. As I've mentioned, I'm not going to get into the consolation bracket. I'm just going to keep this short and sweet for you guys. I went through each matchup. So with that being said, I'm not going to get into a crazy preview as I did last week because I'll go through the championship, player by player. But in our championship, in our 2020 championship, we have number 1 seed Phil, who finished the season 11-2, versus Hobert, number 6 seed, who finished 8-5 in his first season here. Phil's going for his second championship to tie Scott, and Hobert is going for his first championship in his first season, going for 1 for 1. Took you a while to get a basketball championship, and here you are in your first fantasy football championship in your first season. So that's pretty awesome. And welcome to our league. I'm happy to see both of our new guys made it to the playoffs. I'm happy to see you made it all the way. Who do I think is going to win this matchup? As I've been pulling for Ohftt throughout this whole playoffs season, I feel like it would be wrong to vote against him. However, he's playing Phil. His team collectively put up 400 points last week between the bench and starters. Forgive me, Ohftt. I have picked you to this point. I am going to have to pick Phil this week. I would be a fool not to. And if I'm wrong, I will, be the clown on here admitting I was wrong next week. Nothing against your team. It's just Phil's team is that good. And if you think otherwise, look at the numbers. That's all I have to say. Good luck to both you gentlemen this week. I am picking Phil, but I would love to see Ohftt come in on his first season, win the championship, just walk in with pull his pants down, put his balls on the table and say, look at this. I own this league, and I'm going to win it every year. Not that that's going to happen, I promise you that. But it's nice to see that you're here and you're making a statement in your first season. So I'm happy for you. Welcome to the league, as I said. And that's about it for your preview, review, recap, whatever. Championship week next week. And as I said, I do have a gift for you guys. I don't know when I'll be presenting it. It will not be this week or next week. I promise you that, but it will happen, and I will make a special video for it. Yeah. So that concludes our video. If you guys have any questions, always reach out. I hope everybody's safe, healthy, happy, and yeah, I'm going to hop on Warzone with Phil right now. So shout out to you, Phil. I'll give you a shout out in Warzone as well. If you guys play Warzone, let me know. Let's play. Send me your Activision accounts. We can hop in there. I have Xbox. Send me your gamer tags. And if you have PlayStation, send me your Activision. But yeah, if you have any questions, reach out. Hope everybody's doing well and has a happy holidays. Today's the 23rd, so Christmas Eve tomorrow. Christmas being on Friday. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. And I hope everybody gets everything they asked for and then some. With that being said, adios amigos.